Hello and welcome to our mid-season review of where the Carlton Football Club is at. My name is Sam, and I have Ethan, Mitch, and Jack. To start off with, we'll be looking at the positives of the season. Mitch, did you want to take it away? What have you got?
Oh, the positives. So obviously we will all kind of go off a little bit on field and off field, but I reckon the positives for on field has obviously been Sam Walsh, arguably one of the most improved players of the AFL. And of course, our the common medalist, Harry Mackay, I reckon he's been definitely the most improved player in Carlton from where he was last year to actually now stepping into the role of being the number one key forward. And I reckon that's been great for him. I reckon he's really adjusted to that movement of being the number one key forward. And hopefully if Charlie Curnow comes back, that can be a really good duo up forward.
Beautiful, absolutely. And also, yeah, we had written down debt free since it's the first time since 1996, which I think is pretty good. I think it was $7 million wiped off in 3 years, whatever they got it done in. And our most members ever with about 81,000 at the moment, with like the target's 100,000 by 2023, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. So pretty big goal. All right. And negatives of the season, Dash, what do you have? What do we have?
I think our defence has just been lacking the whole year. Considering over the last few years, even throughout the Bolton era, a lot of people talk about how we started off the rebuild from defence. And I think our defence was pretty strong back then. Like when we won games, they were pretty low-scoring games.
They were.
Obviously, our offence wasn't as good back then. But, we just struggled to really, especially make changes throughout the game. I feel like that's on the coaches, especially on the weekend. You got Stocker on Liam Ryan, and then they still don't change it. I think they actually did change it to Newman, and then he got injured. Yeah, which is unfortunate. But geez.
But to start with, though, Liam Stocker on Liam Ryan. I mean, we talked about last week. He's a kid.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. The thing is, I feel kind of bad for Teague a little bit because, who's going to actually take him? You can't put Saad or anyone, because they're probably not as good defensively as.
Yeah, that's right.
Exactly. I think Stocker's all right.
Yeah, that would have been even. Ryan would have kicked 8 if Saad played on him instead of 4. So.
Yeah, but it's all good to say Stocker shouldn't have played off him, but who should? That's the thing. You know?
They should at least try a Saad or a Williams on him. Just a try.
Yeah, a little bit earlier.
Williams would have been better, I reckon. Yeah.
But I feel like if then he kicked even more goals, Teague would have been under fire again. It's a case of damned if you do, damned if you don't. But no Parks, no Carlton Football Club. I told you that.
Your man, Sammy. Your man, Lee Parks.
No Lockie Salmon, actually. Thank you.
I think
3 weeks off. 3 weeks off with the way. It'd be good to get that.
Even when Player was in, I think Player does his job quite well, but just the whole defence, the unit is terrible. Like at the SCG, we're zoning off. Why are we zoning off for the SCG?
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah,
just things like that. That's
is he
where
back next week, Plowman? Is he back next week?
After the bye,
yeah, cool.
Okay.
So you basically get 3 weeks off.
Yeah.
Any other negatives?
Well, we cannot close out games, which is a case of potentially weak, mentally weak. And just not fit enough. What do you guys reckon?
I reckon that's spot on.
I definitely, I don't know, you would think, you would hope, players be fit after going through pre-season and everything like that. You would think these blokes are fit, physically fit. I
they
think
give too much too early, or they're fit, but they give too much too early.
The
first half, first 3 quarters. Yeah.
I think
it comes down to coaching as well.
I think they're fit enough, but I think it's maybe it's our structure.
Yeah.
It doesn't hold up. It makes our players push too hard to certain spots or you know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah, exactly right.
You know what I mean? The certain way we defend, it looks really hard. It looks
could
really
be tiring them
hard.
out too early. Yeah, I agree. Yep. Yeah.
Yeah. Rather than a team defense, it's more of a I don't know, it's just more like a zone off kind of 6 defensive, it's hard to explain, but
six blokes guarding 2 square meters.
Yeah. No, it's really. And then yeah, obviously we've got too many passengers not doing their job up to standard, which we've sort of touched on most weeks. Seems to be a key theme outside of our top 3 players, 2 players. There's a lot of players that seem to be not doing enough. Outside of obviously what we've got, Walsh, Harry, Cripper, probably chuck another 1 or 2 in there, Weeders. What do you guys reckon?
Spot on.
I mean, we always talk about every week, the non-stats players. Like, I mean, you got to have them in your football club. But I think, it gets to a point if half our team are non-stats players, you're not going to be winning games of football.
Yeah, that's not wrong. That's not wrong. We just need more guys finding the footy. I think we need to bring in one more. I think that was pretty much what we brought in Williams for, to get one more guy, got the footy through the middle.
Yeah, exactly right.
I don't think
that hasn't worked so
far. I don't think he's a bad player, but I think we've put a lot of pressure on the bloke to play through the middle. I think we even should have just waited a year, let him play down back, and then make him learn the midfield craft with guys like Cripps and Walsh and stuff like that. But I think we need to bring in one more mid, whether that being a Chera or someone. Yeah,
that'd be good. Any other negatives you guys have or things we need to improve on, I guess?
Just once again, lapses in games.
Yeah. All right. I have on here, no such thing as an honourable loss anymore. We need to be winning games of football, which is sort of, 2 years ago, a couple of years ago, you'd be happy with a few goals down to Hawthorn at the time or whoever it is now. Richmond, 25 points at the start of the year. Like, I think it's we're sort of past that now. Like, I was talking about it on 360, I think, the other day. It's sort of just getting a bit of a joke now. It's not no time for honourable losses. We need to start winning games of football. It's getting a bit of a joke. But anyway, do you guys have anything else to add on that?
I was just about to say about the Passengers, because you kind of look at a team like Richmond, how they aren't a team that gets so many disposals, but I think we mentioned it last week or the week before. Just they get so many, they work together so well with the tap-ons or the roll ball out that actually don't really count as a disposal, like spoils as well. And they just work so well together. And I reckon that's what we kind of need to bring in just a little bit more. I don't know if it's teamwork, because we spoke about it last week. These boys are close.
Unselfish.
Yeah. I think it's like a little bit of unselfishness. The players kind of when they kind of do a tap on, they actually grab the ball and handball it out, and that will count as a disposal. So it's stuff like that you just just a little bit, as you said, just a little bit of unselfishness.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah. It comes down to what you were.
I think we have a few players that just
last week.
Yeah. I was going to say just a few players that lack like 1%ers. Like that's a big part of the game that lacks. Too many players like that, I reckon.
Yeah. Absolutely. All right. Who have you guys seen as our most improved player for the year? Daff?
Oh, I've got Big Harry. It's a pretty self-explanatory one. He's put a lot of work in over the off season away from the club. He's been doing there was some program he was doing over the off season. Then he was doing some mental stuff as well, which has helped his goal kicking and big moments in games and stuff like that. And you can just tell, especially in games like Essendon, he's really broke open the game with big goals. And I think that's what he lacked in his first few years at the club. Like we might be touching distance with a team. He has a couple shots in the last quarter, and he misses them. And that makes such a big impact.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. All right, Jack.
I mean, what else can you say other than Harry and Walshy? I mean, most of the team, apart from those two, have either continued the same level or gotten worse. So, yeah, Walshy, I think, probably number one, just purely because of how good he is. He's always been amazing, obviously. But, I mean, from halfway point of last year to now, it's incredible how far he's come, really, in such a short span of time.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, well, it's a common theme going here. Mitch, you got Harry or?
Yeah, so as I mentioned before, I reckon Harry Mackay is probably the main. And also you chuck in there Walshy. And I was actually about to mention about Sam Doherty, the change of position. Well, I reckon that's it's not improvement, but I reckon that is something that we need
to
I don't really, unless we get an actual winger into the team that performs and Sam Doherty is good enough to go back, I reckon that's his position. I reckon that's our winger
Yeah.
position. I reckon, because we were talking about who will be our winger going forward and who will be like a reliable winger. I reckon Sam Doherty is the one. But I reckon most improved definitely is Harry Mackay.
Yeah, I mean, obviously I had Harry. I've got another one to be sort of strange because he's a champion of the game. But in terms of first start of the year compared to how he is now, obviously you guys know with Eddie Betts, the first few games I feel like he just needed to give a little bit more, and I think the last however many games, 4 or 5 games, probably half a dozen games, he's excelled. No, it's stupid to say most improved. He's a champion of the game, but I think he's definitely in the first few games he played of the year. I think full credit to him. I was, wasn't calling for his head. I wouldn't go that far, but I was questioning.
I would.
Questioning selection.
Questioning selection, exactly right. And I think he's proved me wrong. And he's showed why he's a champion of the game. And as we were talking about before, he's probably one of the 3 or 4 older blokes that actually will be getting a contract, you reckon? Or
I was just going to say that. Is he playing on next year, Sammy?
I reckon I'm not going to say yes, but out of him, Levi, Murph, and Kerno, I'd probably prefer him, maybe. I don't mind Kerno either, but probably prefer him over Levi or Murph, to be honest.
100%. Yeah.
And that's also because, always Fisher, he'd probably help out a bit as a bit of a coach one more year, maybe. But, I don't know. What do you guys reckon?
I just don't want him dragging his career on too long, and then like next year he's complete dog shit. Like I would not want to see that happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think this year is his year. Just finish off well.
Yeah.
Yeah. He probably could retire and go quite easily. Again, sort of talking about last week about getting past players into the club, but he could probably easily retire and become some sort of a coach or have some sort of an off-field role. I would have thought being a champion. Yeah, exactly right. Yeah.
That'd be good.
All right. Well, leading that on to that, from our most improved, who do you guys see leading the best and fairest? So, Mitch, we'll go with you first. Who do you reckon?
So, top 3, I've gone with Weeders 3rd, Harry Mackay 2nd, and Walshy 1st. Just because, Brownlow Walsh, boys. Brownlow Walsh. You can't really win the Brownlow and not win the BNF. Like, that doesn't work, does it? So, Brownlow Walsh.
AFL.com didn't have him in the All-Australian team, so...
I actually saw that.
Also, but they had Parish, though, which is interesting for one of the questions coming up.
Parish should be in there. That's
Parish has been bloody good. He's been good.
Yeah.
Parish is better than Walsh this year.
Plays for Essendon, though. So
all right. Jack, who do you have? Top 3 or top 5? Whatever you got.
So I don't have Harry in my top 5, which
top 5
has a little bad, but I don't.
Why get Sardi there, mate?
I do actually.
He's got player first.
I have in no order, in no order at all. I have Walsh, Wiedering, Silvani, Cripps, and then either Sard or Doherty in the top 5.
Right, you actually had Sard. Interesting. Yeah.
Not for me thinking he's top 5 at all.
Yeah.
I just reckon he'll be there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm interested about the Silvani call. I
think he adds so much to the team that that's why Plowman's always top 5. I think that's more Silvani.
How many games has he played this year?
Yeah, that's the thing.
Is it only 2 or 3 he's missed though?
I thought he's missed more than that.
Yeah, I thought he was only weak ones with his shoulder.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's.
Does that say a lot? If I like it, I don't mind it. I love Jack Silvani, but I feel like he's missed a few games. For him to be in the top 3 or 5, that's quite.
Yeah.
And it's up to you, but I think it shows a lot. If he's missed, I don't know, say 4 or 5 games, I don't know off the top of my head, and he's in the top 3 or 5, then probably need some players to lift. And that's nothing against Jack Silvani. It's just he has missed out in a few games.
I 100% agree with that.
That's the impact he has as well on the games. Like it shows that.
Exactly right.
So,
he's a lot more noticeable, exactly. All right, Daff, what do you reckon?
Yep. So I've got a top 5. We'll start from 5th and then we'll go up. So I've got Doherty 5, Cripps 4, Harry Mackay 3, Wiedering 2, Sam Walsh 1. I think Walshy will run away with it pretty easily. I think Harry has to be.
The Brownlow you mean?
The Brownlow? Yeah, I don't know. I'd love to think he'd be Brownlow, but I'm not sure. I think Harry's had a massive impact on games and shit. Like, if we didn't have him, I don't know if we'd win many games, really. I think I saw on Fox Footy there was a stat we've gone 131 times to him. That's the most by any forward.
Who else have we got to kick to?
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly right.
That's a lot. Like the second highest was
got a big workload.
Second highest was Hex, I think, at 107.
Right.
So, and that shows you. Like,
by the sounds of that, then Harry should be a few more goals in front.
Yeah, because
if he could kick straight a little bit.
And our entries are atrocious.
Absolutely terrible. I'm basically the same as you, Dap, I reckon. Probably Weeders for a little bit further down. Go Walsh, Harry, Weeders, Doc. Yeah, I think you can't potentially win the Coleman medal and not at least be first or second, I would have thought, in the BNF. Walsh is probably a chance for the Brownlow, but I think there might be a few other players in front of him, personally. But Harry's probably not locked in the Coleman, obviously, but he's looking pretty good for it, isn't he? All right, beautiful. Moving on to our predictions for the rest of the season. So where we see us finishing, how many wins and losses we see us having, and our star players and any change of position. So Mitch, take it away.
Yeah, so I've seen our ladder position to so we'll probably finish one below last year, which will be 12th on the ladder. That's kind of where I see us finishing. Obviously I would love us to kind of lift a little bit up on the ladder, but I've found 10 wins and 12 losses throughout the season of the second half of the season, which I think is a pretty good result. To find another 6 wins, and I reckon our second half of the season is a little bit easier than what the first half has been. So I reckon to find 10 wins and 12, to find 6 wins and 4 losses, I reckon that's a great result for the club. But also the star players I've found, Zach Williams and Adam Sard, I reckon both of them will start to kind of know the system a little bit better, kind of get a little bit of more of an idea of how to kind of play with with their teammates. Because I wouldn't know, but I assume it would be very tough to move to a new club under a brand new system, and kind of the expectations as well of the players. Like these guys are on a bit of money, so I feel like the pressure of these players would definitely be skyrocketed. So yeah, and change of positions, probably none. I don't see anyone kind of changing their positions throughout the year. Whether they maybe move Liam Stocker into the middle, that's probably the only one that I kind of see happening. But other than that, I reckon,
yeah, beautiful, well said. All right, moving on to Daff. What do you reckon, mate?
I've got us coming 13th position. I know that's not very high, but geez, the way we're playing, I'm not sure if we can turn around fully. I think it'll be all right, in the next few years, but this year just seems a bit off. I think we end with about 9 wins. So we've got 4 now, 5 more wins. We've got some pretty. I think the next 3 are probably winnable. So it's GWS, Adelaide. Is it Freo after?
Yeah. So Giants, Adelaide.
Yeah. I've got TDK. Hopefully he stays fit.
Yeah.
He's been playing some pretty good footy. Like even on the weekend, up forward when Harry went down, just the contest that he, just goes up for every ball.
I agree.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's just, something is going to happen. He brings the ball to ground, takes a mark. I think our bigs were all right the other day, taking some marks. Pito took a few. He just needs to stop strutting back before he kicks a goal. But we'll move on. We'll go. I think Williams, if he stays off half back. I've got Stocker, and he's a part of my position change. He must play through the midfield. Play through the midfield, and if he does, I think that'll be a positive for us. I think, obviously Walshy. When is he not a star? And then hopefully Cripper continues some good form.
Yeah, beautiful. Well said, mate. All right, moving on. Jack, what do you reckon, mate?
I pretty much agree with Daff. I have us finishing 13th with either 8 or 9 wins. So what's that, 4 or 5 more. I have the Crows, Pies, North, Suns and Saints as winnable games. Maybe Giants in round 23. We always suck in round 23, so I don't know. But then in terms of star players, I don't know. I mean, Walsh and Harry and Weeders will obviously star anyway. All Australian 40, 100% at least for those 3. And then I hope as Pato said, that Williams and Sard come on, because it would be frustrating if it was a whole year with them, stinking up a little bit.
There he is, the great man.
My man, my favorite player of all time. But then change positions. I honestly wouldn't mind. I don't getting Charlie in and playing him further up the ground. I that's what I want. I don't want him to be actually too far in the forward line, because Harry, he's sort of in a position now where he's taking all the leads all the time. So if you chuck Charlie in there, it might actually mess it up a little bit, and I wouldn't like that at all for Harry. But other than that, that's pretty much all I got.
That's an interesting one, that. So playing Charlie up the ground. I mean, I
I wouldn't mind him off a wing or something.
Yeah,
Charlie.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah,
because he's got the tank. Jesus Christ, he's got the tank. But yeah.
No, beautiful. All right, well said. All right, we're going to go for a bit of a. I do agree in terms of the players, in the position changes with Stocker and all that. I reckon we can win 7 more games. Realistically, I reckon we'll beat what? I reckon we'll beat Adelaide, Freo, Collingwood, North, Saints, Gold Coast, and I reckon we won't win to the Giants over there. I reckon we'll beat Giants at home though. So big call. I mean, it'd be great to see, but
that's almost a game of finals.
Yeah, it's close.
Yeah, look, I reckon we'll go all right. They're coming. I mean, I don't see the external. They're coming. I don't see the external.
Yeah, they're coming every year.
They're coming every. They know we're coming. What did Baldown say? Don't see us losing the game. Obviously, the external review, which we'll touch on right in a second, isn't going to obviously change that quickly. But I reckon we can still definitely win a few more games. There's a few games there, even at the position we're in now. There's a few games there that we definitely shouldn't be losing. I know it's Carlton, so we'll find a way to, but a few games there that we definitely shouldn't be losing. I'm probably being a bit, the Giants game probably being a bit hopeful, but I think Gold Coast and definitely Saints and North Melbourne, them two there, I think they're definitely winnable games. I'm almost expecting us to win them games.
Woodsy.
I'll Jai. I'm expecting us to beat the Eagles as well. So we'll see how that goes. Change of positions, I reckon Stocker has to be played in the guts, obviously. In terms of star players and improving players, I say it every week, but I can Parks, I reckon he'll come in.
Yes,
and
get him in.
You get him in. I reckon there's no point not playing him. And in terms of, I'm not sure how the VFL is going to go towards the second half of the season with what's going on at the moment, but I think Brody Kemp, I'd love to see him get a run at it. I saw him the other week and looks good, looks the goods. And Stocker, I reckon, will definitely improve a little bit as well if he's played in the middle, I reckon. Beautiful. All right, anything else to add? All right, beautiful. All right, moving on to, we'll look at the external review of the Carlton Football Club, which was originally planned to be held at the end of the year, but obviously with recent on-field performances has been moved to a bit sooner. The review will be looking at what we got here: performance, coaching, development, list management, and recruiting, and also fitness as well, which all have been talking points between Carlton fans this year and probably over the last 5 to 10 years. Wouldn't you agree with that?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, all these issues, performance, obviously coaching, we've got rid of however many coaches now, development, list management, fitness have all been issues that the Carlton Football Club seem to have regularly, even with new players coming in. So that, to me, I don't know about you guys, to me seems like it could be some sort of a culture issue. And obviously, we've just recently got rid of John Barker as well. How do you guys feel about that?
Yep.
Right time.
We were calling for it just earlier in the week, so
yeah, exactly.
It's good timing, really.
Good timing. Yeah.
He probably should have been going earlier, but thankfully he's gone.
He's gone now, so yeah, all the best to Barks. Obviously, he was at our club for a while. Obviously, he was head coach there for a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it is. It does seem like a case of jump before it was pushed, which I think will be the case for a few others. I would have thought as well. The next sort of question I did have to you guys is: should we be worried, excited, or nervous? So we're this far into a rebuild. We're 4 wins and 8 losses for the season, and we're now undergoing a full review of the club. What message does that send? And obviously, we haven't been getting it right for some time now. But if we're this far into a rebuild, obviously you do expect to be a lot closer and a lot further along than what we are, and we're only just now having the external review. So what are your guys' thoughts on the external review, and where do you see us going forward? Daff?
I think it's great that we're doing it. I think the buys come at the right time. I'm sure you guys think the same thing.
Absolutely.
I think our club's never really done one. I think it's been a bit. Our club's got a bit of an ego, I think. We've always tried to bring in the big players, and that's how we fix everything. But you can't do that these days. And I think it's great looking at. I think a lot of people are under the pump, really. A lot of coaches. A lot of them are really unproven before they came to Carlton. Apart from the fitness bloke, Andrew Russell, that's his name? Yeah, Andrew. Yep. And Luke Power. I think he's only been there a year, so I think he will stay. Russell's under pressure though. He's under the pump, but I think he'll stay. But the rest of them will go, like Stanton, Amos, Bruce. Like seriously, like come on.
So you see them all going?
I agree.
Yeah, all cleaned out.
Yeah. Mitch, what do you reckon?
Yeah, I mean, very similar to Daff. I just reckon. I don't know. I think they were saying something about Richmond and Collingwood doing the external review, pushing it earlier. Yeah, so they are kind of the only two clubs that recently have done it, and look what they've kind of done. So I think, I mean, except for Collingwood, but they did it at the
they did it before the 2018
yes, 2017
final, sorry, not premiership.
Yeah. But I think but I think Richmond was saying the 2016 they did it after talks about Damien Hardwick potentially getting the sack, and look what he did in 2017, and then also Collingwood did it at the end of 2017 by memory. But I reckon it's a good move. I reckon it's probably the right move, because a lot of us fans, we know that we are. I think there's just so many things that we want, that we kind of put a finger on and say, yeah, this is why we're shit. Yeah, this is why we're playing like this.
Absolutely, yeah.
So I reckon, I reckon it's definitely time for the assistants to have a look at, and it's a good start with Barker. I mean, I know that he's been a great servant of the club. I mean, it is sad when someone loses their job, because you know that he was also always trying so hard to get the most out of the players, the most out of the club. But I definitely believe it was time. But same as Daff, I reckon Amos is probably gone. Stanton, probably. I don't know the rest of the assistants, but I reckon Luke Power is probably the main one who needs to stay. I reckon he's one of the champions that needs to stay. And I reckon you need...
He's the only winner out of all of them, so...
You need champions around the club. But also, Andrew Russell needs to stay. Like, you need to kind of trust him for a bit, because he did so well at Hawthorn. You need to trust him for a bit. You need to give him another couple of seasons, get the players to trust him, and then see where you kind of go. But I reckon we've done so much to get him. I reckon he needs to stay as well.
Beautiful. Well said. What do you reckon, Jack?
This is what I reckon. Get him in. Get him in. Come on. Like, he came out again today, said he wants to help.
Saw that, yeah.
Get him in. Like, surely, like, yeah, as you guys have also touched on, getting rid of these guys, been there for a while, they haven't really done much. Right? Get some teams to come back. Like, come on.
Yeah. Beautiful. All right. Moving on. Almost done. So moving on to some questions now. We do have a few questions here being sent in. I believe there is some also that were sent through messengers. I won't have them here, so it'll be up to you guys to bring them ones up. So the question from Daniel is Walsh or Parish? So, of course, Darcy or Sam Walsh. No bias. So, Daff, who would you prefer in your football team?
I think they're great. I think this question came from Daniel said, yeah.
Came from Daniel, yeah.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in, Daniel.
Thanks, Jock.
He's a loyal. Thanks, Jock. No, I'm
not sure if he actually watches, and sees the answers of his questions, but he does send through a few questions.
He does.
Thanks, Djokovic.
Top fan.
But I think they're both pretty good. I'm liking what I'm seeing from Darcy Parish since he's been put through the middle. I think was he more half forward, like wing when Shield was playing?
Yeah, like Shield.
Then Shield got injured. Yep.
Yeah. So I guess that's been good for him. Obviously not good that Shield's injured for Essendon, but maybe for us. But
was it Carlton get him?
But yeah, I think Walsh will be better than him. I think he is better than him. But yeah, I'll go with Walsh. You have to go with Walshy.
Yeah. From what I sort of did do the old compare on the AFL app, and it is very similar. Walsh has the wood over him in some things, and Darcy has some over him with other things. But just for the age perspective, in terms of Walsh is 20, which I think Mitch well and truly covered last week. Walsh is quite young. He's 20. Obviously, Darcy's still quite young. He's 23. But for Sam Walsh to be doing what he's doing at such a young age, I think I'd probably prefer Walsh, and it's not being biased. What about you, Jack? What do you reckon?
If we're talking this year, I mean, Darcy Parish has been better this year.
Oh yeah.
And like Parish should be higher in the Brownlow and all this stuff. But obviously that doesn't mean you're a better player just being higher in the Brownlow. Otherwise, Brayshaw would be a better player than Cripper. But yeah, I'd still take Walshy, even though I do love Darcy Parish.
Mitch, what do you reckon?
I mean, I don't think I'm being biased, but Walsh. It's just I reckon what he's doing at 20, I mean, to be compared to Parish. What draft was he? 2016? Was he 2016
15, draft? Same as Wiedering.
Yeah, so he was pick 3, wasn't he? I don't know exactly what.
Yep.
Yeah, so he was pick 3. And Walshy, I mean, for a 20-year-old, I mean, their stats are kind of the same, but for a guy to be 3 years younger and doing what he's doing right now for a 20-year-old, I reckon he's definitely, I would choose him, but also Parish to get 44 disposal. I think that's the highest Essendon player ever.
Essendon player, yep.
The highest, so like that's
nuts because they've had some pretty good.
They've had some ball magnets. Yeah.
No, they're both fantastic players, but there we go. 4 Sam Walshes. There we go. All right. Moving on to the next question. The next question is from Sophie. This, of course, is sitting out there with my nan and pop. Shout out to my nan and pop.
Thanks, Carlton.
Thanks, Sophie.
Letting me other side actually. So letting me stay here for so long. Can't be easy. All right. So from Sophie, how do you rate Teague's performance? Pretty much. How do you rate Teague's performance this year? She didn't know what to write, so don't give it too much. Hey? How do you rate Teague's performance this year? What does he need to improve? Dash, what do you reckon?
Just again, like I said before, which was in the negatives, being able to change, like make positive changes throughout the game, or being able to stop the bleeding. Like I think 25 out of the 40 games that David Teague has coached, we've let teams have 30-point fucking runs. And to be honest with you, I'm fucking sick of it. So I think he needs to stop that. He has to, if he stops that, that is massive. I'm telling you, it is massive because we lose games by 20 points. We're not far. I'm telling you, I've said it in a lot of episodes.
It's not far, yeah.
We are not far. We're all in the Blue Baggers group chat, and the guy who pretty much is the king of it, Riley Starray.
Yeah.
He has given us a question. So his question is, what do you want to see from the last 10 weeks of the season on field? Example, is it playing youth, a change of defensive structures, etc.? What would you want to see in the next 10 weeks?
Exactly that, I think. Really mix the youth in as well, and then improving our defensive structure. I mean, please, that needs to happen ASAP. It's embarrassing, really, what it is at the moment.
I think what the thing is, because I don't think the defensive structure will actually be fixed over the next 10 weeks, but I reckon make some adjustments definitely. But the main thing is you need to play the kids, you need to play the youth, you need to see what we've got in the system. Quite simple. I think again you've got to be smart with that though. Yeah. Like, you can't be dropping guys you can't be dropping guys who are probably like 25. No. Or something. You've got to be dropping guys like Murphy, Ed Kerno. Yeah. Ed Kerno. That's another topic.
Don't want Murph to have a sook about it though.
Yeah. Oh, I wasn't going to say
bang. Each goes bang.
Good at it.
I've got a big question.
Not this year anyway.
That's true.
Yeah. I've got a question from a group chat. From Jesse.
You got this one?
That's what I was about to say, Duff. Yeah. That's what I was reading.
Meister. Yes.
That's what I was reading before.
The Meister, Jess Meister. You guys talk a lot about the key players in the team. They all seem to play well. which we all agree on. Do you think they need other role players and non-key guys to step up? And how do you get that out of them?
Tough one.
Yeah.
Do they need more
Because
role
he's
players?
100% right.
Yeah,
it is a tough one. You go, Sam.
How do we maximize the
you
output
go.
of these role players?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we've touched on it a few times. I think we need more, as I said, that's what we tried to do with Williams. Daff said, like, we need more, I guess, ball winners and, ball magnets. I think, we look at Cottrell, probably the main one. He's not a massive stats player, and I think we might also be using that as an excuse as well with some players. Like some players that should probably be winning more of the ball, but we're using the cop out of non-stats players. We're probably just giving them that leeway out a bit too much. I think there's a couple of players that you can definitely almost give the role player role to, like Jack Silvani. He obviously doesn't on paper. He's not a massive ball winner, but you can definitely feel his presence and the pressure acts that he brings to the team is unquestionable. So yeah, great question. What do you reckon, Jack?
I think you got it spot on. There's not really much else to add to that.
All right, we'll go.
At one point, to maximise like those role players' output has a lot to do with structure.
Yeah,
has a lot to do with like Richmond. You've watched like over the last 5 odd years. Well, they've got they've made guys like Castagna look like stars. Like really, like it's great. It's I don't like Richmond, but it's good to see that. It's actually really good to see that. Like someone comes in, they do their role. Melbourne's doing that now. You can see they've adopted that kind of similar type of stuff, and they bring in different guys. Ben Brown comes in, he kicks his goals. He might get dropped the next week. That's how good the guys in the VFL can actually.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like they know what their role is. And I don't think at our club many players do. Like you look at Stockdale, bring him in as a midfielder. He probably trained with Walsh and Cripps in his first pre-season, and then the next year when Bolts is gone, he's gone, and then Teague's gone. Oh, you have to play down back. So
yeah, that's actually spot on.
There's a few players like that. Like SPS is probably another one. Completely agree with you there. Anything else to add?
I think that's all done.
But yeah, I obviously just wanted to touch on. Obviously, we're all wearing the Big Freeze beanies.
Yes.
For this week for the Big Freeze at the SCG now for Neil Danaher and Fight MND. So obviously, if you haven't already, get down to Coles or Bunnings to buy a beanie or Fight MND and donate if you can. But of course, we love the Big Freeze. I just wanted to shout that out.
Great cause.
Absolutely.
And did we hear that that McLaughlin is going down the slide? Did we hear that?
Yes.
Going down the slide. I don't mind that.
Yeah, time.
So they're still doing that at the G, aren't they? Sorry, I'm obviously been in Tassie for the last few weeks. I'm a bit out of touch, but they're still doing it at the G, aren't they?
I believe.
Right?
Yeah, I've heard that.
I think so. Yeah.
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 Which I think that's a good touch. Just because now that we're out of, hopefully going to be out of lockdown tomorrow. I mean, we are out of lockdown tomorrow, but I think that's a good touch just to kind of bring the MCG and Melburnians into the Big Freeze that's been around for 7 years. All right,
beautiful. All right, best of luck with your exams in the morning, boys. I'll see you all there.
Yeah, same to you, boys. And as always, go Blues, Mighty Baggers.
Go the Blues.
Go Blues.
All right, Blues.
I'm Blues.